The Mouse Comes to Dinner is a really fun Tom and Jerry cartoon. This was released originally in 1945, directed, of course, by William Hanna and Joseph Barbera, with a story by Jerry Mann. And Tom invites Toots over for a romantic evening. He's laid out the table. Well, actually, Mommy Two Shoes laid out the table, but everything looks delicious and ready to eat. And Tom is taking great advantage of this. And everything seems to be going well until Jerry comes along, and Jerry begins to mess with the food and mess with Tom and generally just ruin the date. And I enjoyed it a lot. I thought it worked really well. This is actually one of the ones from my childhood where I kind of remembered little bits and pieces of it. If I thought back to this episode, I couldn't remember Toots even being in this, but she's beautiful, she looks very elegant, very sophisticated, a very lovely character. I always enjoy it when she is in the cartoons. But there are certain things in this that really struck out or stuck with me, including, I don't want to spoil too much, but the tail in the sandwich is a bit of animation that I really remembered, and I thought it worked really well. The fact that Tom was kind of oblivious to a lot of what Jerry was doing before he ended up being hurt seemed a little unrealistic, but if I start looking at elements of realism in Tom and Jerry, I think I'm going to lose my mind, because needless to say, cartoons like Tom and Jerry are not designed to be realistic, so I can let that slide. Very well animated. Obviously, it's all kind of centered around this table, but because there are a lot of things on the table, food, dishes, cutlery, crockery, candles, Jerry has a lot of material to work with, and it works really well. Definitely one that, as I said, I remembered bits and pieces of it from my childhood, but not the full thing. It certainly came flooding back to me in parts. The Mouse Comes to Dinner is one that I really enjoyed. It's a lot of fun, and if you haven't seen it or if you don't remember it, it's definitely one that is worth watching or rewatching.